Okay, today we're going to talk about the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. In particular, the first book. This is the collection of all 5 books. I have not gone through all 5 books, but we're going to talk about the first book because it was one of the most fun things I've read in a very long time. And it's not really often when I read something that's fun, that's lighthearted, that I enjoy because I just know where it's going to go. I'm not second guessing. I see it's a very simple story, and I'm not usually interested by that stuff, but who's this by? Douglas Adams, I think. Yes, Douglas Adams. Douglas Adams has a way of writing that you don't know what's going to happen. It's wacky, it's weird, it's funny, it's interesting, it's insightful, and the closest thing that I can compare this to is Mark Twain in space. I'm sure somebody said that. I'm sure that's a comparison, but that's what this reminds me of. And the story is centered around Arthur Dent. I think that's his name. I want to make sure. I'm not good with character names. I really don't care about character names. But basically, he is, he wakes up and he forgets that something important was happening. But then he realizes that his house is being destroyed for the sake of a freeway being constructed. And in fact, there is a funny joke in that as well because there are also bulldozers about to destroy Earth, and his alien friend, that he doesn't know is an alien friend, whisks him away, and they go on all sorts of crazy adventures. And I'm sure I kind of just spoiled the first 15 pages of this book for you, but in no way should that make you not pick it up because this just really is a fun, interesting book. There's a whole lot of very cool things in it. There's a lot of references to other things. You could tell that Douglas Adams had a whole lot of fun writing this because you can see the influences all over. But the interesting facet of this story is that it also has an interesting backstory to it as well. You know, Douglas Adams was hitchhiking around Europe. He didn't have a lot of money at the time, so he was following this guide. I think it was called The Hitchhiker's Guide to Europe, and he was looking up at the stars, and he was like, somebody should make a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And it was kind of a joke to himself at the time, but he never really forgot that idea, and he loved sci-fi. I think he in some ways loved sci-fi, in other ways didn't, but he kind of wanted to satirize it, which is really what this book is about. And yeah, just a nice, simple story. I'm sure I could go into various different parts of the story, but I kind of just want you to read it to yourself because it's something you're going to read, it's something you're going to enjoy. And even the most famous aspect about this book is the solution to life is 42. There's a very esoteric sort of idea there in the fact that this grand civilization asked this computer to solve the biggest problem of life and put it in a simple way, and the computer, after millions of years, comes up with the answer 42. And what does that mean? Well, there's an interesting parallel to the Zen Buddhists who, when a student would ask a question, they would try to break the cyclical nature of consciousness, the mechanical nature of consciousness, by blurting out a random line that doesn't really have any sort of sense or any sort of meaning or any sort of purpose, but to break the habit of seeking an answer, to break the habit of seeking a simple solution, and instead understand the deeper sort of life that needs to be lived. Like, what's the point of life? What's the meaning of things? Well, if you have to answer that, then you miss the point. The whole point of life is living it, and that's sort of the implications of it. It could also just be taken as a joke, but there's that nice little bit of it that it's making fun of humans' need to kind of find this grand sweeping purpose to life instead of just experiencing life. Because I want you to think about your best moments in life. It's usually when you're just enjoying it, not when you're thinking about it. And I think that's really the point that Adams is making. But yeah, I'm going to continue to read the rest of the series, continue to have fun with it, and yeah, hopefully you guys pick it up because I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's definitely going to be one of my new favorite sci-fi series just because it defies what you think of when you think of sci-fi, and those are really the kind of books that I enjoy the most. So that's it. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Peace out. I'll catch you in the next one.